So I'm just going to level set with you. I kind of just picked this poem blindly, based ironically on experience with Emily Dickinson. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. This is another one of those poems that is impossible to read, but we're going to get through it. Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will find itself in two separate playlists here on the channel. Number one being, of course, the poetry discussion playlist, ever growing. There's poetry on the channel every Monday, and number two being the Emily Dickinson playlist. Also, ever growing. Emily Dickinson, if you didn't know, the greatest poet of all time. So, what do we have here? The poem is known as Experience is the Angled Road, and it reads as such. Experience is the angled road preferred against the mind by, paradox, the mind itself, presuming it to lead quite opposite. How complicate the discipline of man, compelling him to choose himself his pre-appointed pain. So what does this mean, Emily? What are you doing here, writing riddles? Experience is the angled road. Okay, I want to get here. I'm here. If I'm giving you directions, I might say, or you want to get here. You want to get here from here. If I'm giving you directions and I don't really know what I'm talking about, I'm going to say, okay, you go up to 2nd Street and you hang a left. You hang a right. But if I know exactly where we're at, I'll say there's Bergeron Street that goes straight to it. Experience is the angled road. It saves you all of this journey. It is preferred, the shortcut is preferred by the mind. Paradox is preferred against the mind by, paradox, the mind itself. The mind prefers to use the shortcut to whatever it is that it's doing. Now, those next couple of lines there, the mind prefers the shortcut against whatever it is that it's doing, presuming the shortcut to lead quite the opposite. How complicate the discipline of man? When we are trying to tell ourselves what it is we have to do, we do not drive a hard bargain. We believe that we are Emperor Supreme. And so, when we believe we're being disciplined, we will tell ourselves, you're going to go up to 2nd Street and you're going to cut over. But our mind knows, no, you're not. No, you're not. Compelling him to choose himself. The mind that was going to take that long route, but knows the shortcut, will put itself in the position that it has to choose the shortcut. And then his pre-appointed pain, letting himself down all the while. Now, certainly, this is the most if-then way to put the fact that you're going to procrastinate. The most insane, perhaps, way to state Parkinson's Law. What is Parkinson's Law? Parkinson's Law says that if you have a task to complete and you have a time slot in which it must fit, it will always fit within that time slot. This is why you have to set aggressive goals for yourself, because if you set, I want to write 50 words by Friday, it'll take you all the way till Friday to get it done. But if you want to write 50 words every day, Well, it'll take you all day to get it done. But if you want to write 50 words before noon, you can be sure to have your words by noon. That's Parkinson's law. This, in my opinion, and look, I went through this poem with a fine-tooth comb. I tried my fine diddly best to get a point out of here. I think this is where we are with this poem. You will fail yourself. This is Emily Dickinson telling us. You're going to fail yourself. You're going to set these goals. You're going to be aggressive. You're going to reach out, strive forward. But you will procrastinate. You will screw up. You will tell yourself that on Monday you're going to have X, Y, and Z done, but only X is done. Do you really need Y and Z? It's, a lot of this motivational speaking type stuff, a lot of the sort of SMART goal speaking type stuff. SMART goals, I think, are a product of the 80s, if I am not mistaken. And all of these acronyms, SMART goals, are specific, measurable, I can't remember the A right now, relevant and time-based. All of these types of things have kind of crept up in society with the advent of visual media. Audio media did quite a bit of it, but really in the 70s, you get a great exponential growth of motivational speakers. And I think that's because when you simply have the paper in front of you, the pen and the paper, and you start to try to work out why it is that you're always screwing up, why it is that you can't get anything done, you can't seem to get anything done. Have you ever tried to journal that? Have you ever sat down and tried to work out why you're such a screw up? It always comes out like this. Speaking, we get to use intonations. We get to say things in different tones that mean different things. But on the paper, you have to use the actual differentiated words regardless of the tone behind them, because you can't communicate tone through poem, not all the time. So, while I think that's what's being said in this poem, I don't promise it. I do think that it is an incredible feat for Emily Dickinson to have come to this conclusion, essentially Parkinson's law. I don't know when Parkinson's law came about, but a long time, probably before any of that was really talked about, to have come to this conclusion that your mind will short-circuit itself just to have itself to blame, and it will not pull the trigger on the blame. This is the insights to the human experience that Emily Dickinson was able to convey. There's no short selling it. I think that this is more of a trivial insight to the human experience than oftentimes Emily Dickinson is able to convey, but something still that can help you on the day-to-day basis. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. And I hope to have you back for the next one.